Well, hello, boys and girls. Welcome back. It's another exciting day. Yes, I have just rewatched one of my favorite movies. You may have can guess. It was The Mighty Ducks. It's on Disney Plus. It's a old Disney movie, but one of my favorites that talks about a ragtag group of boys and a coach that was down on his luck and how they came together to make a great winning team. What does it take to make a team? There's a lot of things out there. One of the things I've heard the most from all of you is about how much you miss one another. Not seeing one another because you're seeing each other on a line through Zoom or through Microsoft Teams. You're seeing each other that way, but you're not with one another. And that's where a team really comes in. It's building off one another's strengths and weaknesses. So I am going to share you a special book today by John Gordon, who is a leadership author for adults, but he also has some children's books out. And this one is called Hard Hats for Kids, a story about 10 ways to be the great teammates. It's a wonderful story, and we learn a lot from it. So I wanted to share it with you today. Michaela loved three things in life: dogs, triple chocolate ice cream cones, and basketball. Her grandfather was a coach, and Michaela started playing basketball before she could even walk. Michaela, Michaela, who everyone called Mickey, played basketball all the time. She even begged her dad to put a light over the garage so she could play at night. Mickey dreamed all of the day in fifth grade would begin and she could play basketball for her school team. When the first day of the fifth grade arrived, Mickey was ready. Well, she was ready for basketball at least. The first day of school seemed to drag on forever. Finally, Principal Rhodes' voice blared over the loudspeaker. "All fifth graders interested in playing basketball, please report to the gym at dismissal." Mickey was out the door in a flash and halfway to the gym before Mr. Rhodes could finish his announcement. "Welcome to Cancun basketball," said Coach Viola with a smile. "We kick off every season with the Hard Hat Award." Mickey was instantly excited. She had been practicing every day and was ready for the chance to compete and win. This challenge is about being a great teammate. It will take place over the next week. After our first game, the winner will be awarded this big red hard hat. The kids looked at him excitedly, but they were also a little puzzled. A hard hat. Coach Viola chuckled. "I bet you're wondering why the prize is a hard hat. Well, a hard hat is usually worn by construction workers when they build tall buildings, bridges, and towers. Construction workers are known for working hard and working together to build something great." When I played lacrosse in college, my good friend George won our team's Hard Hat Award. He was the best teammate ever. To carry on this tradition, I will give a hard hat to the player who has been the best teammate throughout the next week. Mickey was mesmerized by Coach Viola's story, and she decided then and there that she wanted to win that hard hat. Mickey knew she was the best basketball player on the team. She looked around and wondered if there was anyone who could give her some competition. Her eyes fell on Jax, and she smiled at him. He was the nicest kid at school, and he played pretty good basketball. But he couldn't make a basket or even get close to the rim. During practice that week, Mickey dribbled circles around everyone and made all of her shots. The day before the first game, Jax said to Mickey, "You're a sharp shooter, Mickey. I hope I can learn to shoot like you one day." Mickey was confident that the hard hat would be hers. The next day, Mickey couldn't stop thinking about the game or the hard hat award. Finally, it was time for the starting players to take the court. The referee blew the whistle, and Mickey's teammate Joe jumped and tipped the ball to her. She made a quick spin move, dribbled to the basket, and scored! Mickey was a scoring machine. She already had 10 points when Coach Viola took her out of the game. Mickey missed Jack's high five because she was too busy stomping over to Coach Viola to complain. "Coach, why did you take me out? I scored more points than anyone." "You were great out there, Mickey. Now it's time to be a great teammate from the bench," said Coach. "How are you supposed to be a great teammate if you're not even in the game?" she mumbled to herself. "Nice game today, and it was a great first week of practice. Now we have an award to give out," said Coach Viola as he reached for the big, red, shiny hard hat. Mickey held her breath. "After a lot of thought, I'm excited to announce that the Hard Hat Award goes to," who do you think, boys and girls? "To Jax! Congratulations on winning the Hard Hat Award for being such a great teammate." To Jax. As Mickey and her grandfather walked across the gym, her grandfather said, "Great game, Mickey." Why the sad face? "Pops, I was the best player on the team and I scored the most points, but I still didn't win the Hard Hat Award." "Well, Mickey, there is a difference between being the best player and being the best teammate," said her grandfather. "There is?" asked Mickey. "It sure is a mystery to me." "Solving a mystery always begins with a good old-fashioned detective work and gathering clues," said her grandfather. "Why don't you start by watching Jax? Watch what he does at practice and during games. Even watch him when he's on the bench." "Here you go. Every good detective needs a notebook for gathering clues," said her grandfather with a smile. "Thanks, Pops." For that day on, Mickey imagined she was a detective. She watched Jax and searched for clues in the gym, on the court, during water breaks, on the bench, and even after practice. She put all the clues in her notebook. After a week of detective work, she couldn't wait to share the clues with her grandfather that night at dinner. Mickey opened up her notebook to show Pops her detective work. "I needed a way to make sense of all of these clues, so for each one, I wrote a word or a phrase to describe what Jax did. For example, he was always at the gym early to practice his shooting, so I used the word work hard and effort. Even when our team was losing, Jax would cheer us on and shout out positive words that made us work harder and play better. So I used the words believe and encourage. When Jax was on the bench, he watched his teammates play and always tried to motivate us. He made us believe we could win. So I used the word motivate and optimism. After every game, Jax would shake the referee's hand and say, "Thank you." He also thanked Coach Viola after every game and practice, and always stayed after to help clean up the locker room, so I used the word respect. He never walked by a teammate without a smile and a high five, and he was the first to jump off the bench with excitement when one of his teammates did something neat on the court. So I used the word energy and enthusiasm. If you're having a bad practice or not playing well, Jax always said something helpful that made you feel better. He wasn't the best player, but he made everyone around him better. He is a great friend, so I wrote the word friend. Wow, you've done a lot of work here, Mickey. So what do you make of it all? Asked her grandfather. Well, I felt these words were the key to solving the mystery. When I put them in the right order, the answer was right there in front of me. Work hard, effort, believe in your teammates, plus encourage, plus friend, plus optimism, plus respect, plus energy, plus motivate, plus enthusiasm equals. I circled the first letter of each word and I was able to crack the code. All of Jack's teammates' skills spelled out we before me. You see, Pops, Jax always puts the team first, and now that feeling is starting to spread, said Mickey excitedly. What do you mean? Her grandfather asked. Jax once told me he wants to be able to shoot like me. Before I only focus on being better than him, but now I want him to be the best he can be. He's shown us what we're all better when we put the team before ourselves. Well, my little detective, I think you've discovered the keys to being a great teammate, Mickey's grandfather said with a smile. From that day forward, Mickey and Jax met every day to practice their shooting. Mickey taught him all the shooting tips that she had learned from her grandfather. I can't believe the championship game is tomorrow, said Jax. Coach says, we have a good shot at beating the Lions. With your new shooting skills, the Lions have no chance, said Mickey as she smiled and headed home. The next day, the whole school came to watch the Kagoos play in the championship. As the time ticked away, the Kagoos were still down by a point when Coach Viola called a timeout. We have time for one last play. Let's go for Big Red, the play where Urza passed the ball to Mickey for the shot. Mickey had waited for this moment her whole life. It was her chance to make the winning shot in a championship game. She looked over at Jax and suddenly had a different idea. Coach, I have two players on me and I don't think I'll be able to get a shot. What if I fake the shot and pass it to Jax? She asked hopefully. Coach Viola looked surprised, then smiled. Great idea, Mickey. Jax, get ready. The whistle blew and Urza passed the ball to Mickey, who instantly had two players on her. She quickly faked the shot, causing the defenders to jump in the air. She then delivered a perfectly bounced pass between them to Jax, who was ready and waiting. Jax caught the ball. He looked at Mickey. She nodded. The gym was silent. Jax bent his legs just like he and Mickey had practiced, and then jumped and released the ball towards the basket. Time seemed to stand still. All eyes followed the ball through the air. Swish! The buzzer sounded. The whole gym erupted with cheers. Kaigan Elementary had won the championship. After the game, Coach Viola called the team to the locker room one last time. I'm so proud of all of you for making such a great season. You really came together as a team and showed the hard hat is all about. And congrats to our hard hat winner, Jax, for a fearless winning basket. Jax then stood up and said, "Thank you, coach, but there's someone who deserves the hat much more than me." Jax walked over to Mickey and put the hard hat on her head. "You helped me become a better shooter. You passed me the ball. You encouraged me. You are not only a great player, but you're also a great teammate, and you deserve the hard hat." The team cheered and clapped for Mickey, and Mickey smiled. In a moment, Mickey realized that the hard hat itself wasn't important. Being a great teammate and making your team better was what mattered most. She discovered that being a great teammate means that sometimes you are the star, and other times you are to help your teammates become the star. When Coach Viola went to the locker room the next day, he found the hard hat sitting in its place on the shelf with a message taped to it. "Dear Coach, we decided to leave the hard hat here for the next team, along with the 10 important ways to be a great teammate. Just as your teammate George inspired you, we want to inspire people as well. Thanks for everything, Coach, Mickey and Jax. We before me." Remember, work hard, effort, believe, encourage, friend, optimism, respect, energy, motivate, and enthusiasm. We before me. The end. You don't have to be the best player, but you have to be the best friend. So, even though we're separated from our friends right now, you can still be a great teammate. Your family is your team right now. Are you all helping one another through this crisis? Are you helping with the dishes, cleaning up around the house, doing some yard work, maybe even taking turns doing meals? All of these are great ways to show a great team. It's the we before me. Well, boys and girls, it has been another wonderful day with you, and I look forward to seeing you again. So, you have a wonderful day. Bye.